Good afternoon, everyone. Patrick Johnston again here in beautiful Cabarete, right on the beach. The beach is over that way. We'll put some B-roll here so you can see it right now. But look, today we're going to talk about the process of being scared. Being scared and buying real estate is a normal process, man. Normal process. I don't care if you are living in Toronto and you're going to buy in Ottawa. There's a certain amount of fear involved in the process of moving your life from point A to point B, changing all your friends, your bank location, dealing with a new lawyer, getting the school for kids, changing your mailing address is even a bit of a scary thing for some people. Fear is part of the process. And I wanted to speak to that today for you because, oftentimes we have to hold a lot of hands. Now, when it comes to buying property internationally, I'm going to put you right at ease right from the beginning to state that the process of buying real estate in the Dominican Republic is a straightforward, simple transaction, legally protected. All of the titles here in the Dominican Republic are on all satellite based, so you have all the exact points. There's a process called deslinde, which is a migration of title from an old school title to the modern version. So you're always going to buy and sell modern version real estate tracked in the right way in today's world. You're never going to buy real estate without title. Some people do that. Don't ask me why. And you're never going to buy real estate without having a real estate lawyer and possibly a realtor involved so that the process stays normal. You are opening yourself to fear, stress, and possible bad issues if you don't involve a legitimate lawyer and a professional real estate person. I'll give that back. But fear and stress is good because sometimes you're heading into the unknown, or you're taking that step that, let's use my example. I've been coming to the Dominican Republic since I was 18 years old. Insert photo here. You'll see that photo. And I was here for the first time when I was just 1 month past 18 years old. And from that point to today, I'm 52 years old. I have had that much experience in this country. Full-time, I've been living here approaching 10 years full-time. And 25 years prior to that, coming here on vacation 2 to 6 weeks per year and all across the North Coast from Puerto Plata to Samaná. But that level of experience of vacation mode is different from that of people that are going to change their life from 1.0 to 2.0 and actually make an investment here for your future of retirement or second home living, etc. Right. So here's the mindset you have to keep in mind. Number one, as spoken on in an earlier video, you want to do your due diligence on the person you're trading with, which includes me. When you text me on my WhatsApp number at 829-525-1782 and say, hey Patrick, send me your references and anything else so I can verify who you are. I'm going to send you a package of information about me so that you can feel comfortable with what and who I stand for, my experience, etc. I'm going to then recommend you deal with a certain law firm or lawyer that I feel comfortable with for hundreds and hundreds of transactions we've done together and what they stand for and their credibility, so that you don't have to put yourself in a difficult situation of heading into blindly into choosing people. Now, if you're going to then maybe build a house or build your dream home, we have an internal division called Custom Beach Villas, which we can take raw land and build with our own engineering internally, architect internal, legal services, and our builder, who's American, he's my business partner, he will build you a house to spec using the standards of we would approach a build in North America, but here in the Dominican Republic following all the legitimate rules here. But other than that, you're going to buy a condo, buy an existing home, a resale condo. We're going to make sure the title's correct. We're going to look for the homeowners association rules and regulations. We're going to check the financial statements of the homeowners association or the condo building to make sure you're not jumping into a mess. But of course, we know all these condo associations across the country, and we know the ones that are good and the ones that are having a little bit of a difficulty, that have either bad management or anything like that. One thing I'll warn you on that condo associations here, if you're a Canadian and you know what a reserve fund study is, or a reserve fund, most condo associations here in the country do not have reserve funds. They don't. A reserve fund, generally, if you paid $200 in condo fees, they take $50 of each condo fee, put it aside into a giant fund, so that if they have to do a call to fix something, they will do that against a pool of money already in hand. But here in the country, for the most part, they don't do that. And if there's an issue to be handled, they will write and address it with every single individual and deal with it that way. It's a bit more meticulous and difficult, but it's not unusual. It's very normal here. Okay, so you selected a lawyer, you selected a builder to build for you, or you found your right condo or resale home. And once you get that together, you're going to write an offer. By North American standards, the real estate company, say me as a realtor, I would draw up a 14, 16-page document, which are pre-formed documents based on the real estate board that I trade in. And the bulk of the work here in Canada or United States is done by the real estate agent or the brokerage. And then when you sign that document, literally all those documents are then passed to a lawyer, and then those documents are put forth to a closing date. Everyone shows up and pays the money, and then the keys are yours, etc. Here, it's the opposite. What real estate brokerages or real estate agents do is write what I call a single-page offer, which is really an engagement ring, which is not binding, but it's a one-page offer, and it has the I love you, you love me, which is basically buyer name, seller name, today's date, the property ID number, passport numbers of the people involved, closing date, the actual price, the deposit, and suggested closing date. Everyone signs that little document, one page, generally. And then you go to the lawyer, and the lawyer, over the next 7 to 10 days, develops what is called the promise of sale. That promise of sale is what normal real estate agents in North America actually write up, and that is in Spanish only document that binds a buyer and a seller to the actual purchase of property. Therefore, that is the document that becomes the legitimate final document that all parties must follow to get you to the finish line, etc., etc. Now, I'll also warn you that closing dates are like this. We're in the Caribbean. Well, let's just admit that. So if you had a closing date of May the 15th, and that was happening in a North American city, that date would be a firm date. I'm going to tell you right now, if we say May the 15th in this country, it's going to be around the May 15th date. It doesn't mean it's bad, but we have to really confirm that closing date, because it can change. Because just purely, not because of the country, but think of it this way. A buyer and seller in North America literally are from the same city, same state, or same country, generally speaking. Here, you have like 14 different countries around the world that primarily buy real estate here in the Dominican Republic, and a buyer and a seller can be anywhere. So we're dealing with wire transfers. Sometimes there's a bank delay. We're dealing with international holidays globally from 14 countries that no matter what, they sent the wire transfer well in advance, but it can be held up by bank holidays, national holidays, extended Christmas breaks, Holy Week, which is here in the DR, Valentine's Day, your brother's birthday, you name it. So I always say a roundabout, so that don't get really uptight on a date of May 15th and get bent out of shape for it, I have you take it with a grain of salt. But if it is that firm and you're going to be homeless, I would always book something for the week of your closing. So if you're coming here to do the closing, don't expect to stay in your house immediately for the following reasons. Number one, your utilities won't be turned on. And you're going to have to do that the first week you're here. So get an Airbnb, book a hotel, do your running around to get your life set up with the new house purchase that you're making, your new condo. But don't get stressed out by the motion of island time. Believe me, it is a good thing that things take a little bit more casual approach to it here. It doesn't mean that they don't care as a country. It doesn't mean the real estate agents don't care or the legal system. It's just with 14 different major countries around the world buying real estate here, we're susceptible to all those different things that I've mentioned earlier, okay? So another thing about fear is, of course, language. Now, every lawyer that you're going to deal with and every real estate you're going to deal with, real estate agent that is, or brokerage, part of your due diligence will be like to feel that the language that is spoken you're comfortable with and that you can deal with, right? So always do that. That's number one. And then number two, when you get into that situation, know full well that prior to closing, we will be working together and helping you set up your water, your internet, your, I don't want to call it telephone because that's old school, but your cellular phone, and any other related services that you're going to have and require in your house. I mean, in today's world, we're recommending, for example, people use Starlink satellite internet from now on. Just so much easier. But you want to order that in advance and all these little things. Our team of VIP services will walk you through each and every one of those setup accounts so that you're not dealing with it alone. It's part of the process. It's part of the service we provide. So don't let that be a fear for you, okay? The next point is, don't let it be a fear of how to get from the airport, any airport in this country, to wherever you need to be on closing day. So if you can only get a flight, for example, into Santo Domingo, but because of whatever reason, and you need to be in Sosua, work with us. We're going to pick you up at the airport. We'll deliver you safely to Sosua, or whatever airport it is, to whatever destination in this country. So basically, as an overall comment, dump the fear on us as a team. We're here to give it a smooth ride for you. There will inevitably be some hiccups along the way, but we're here to hide those hiccups and make sure that you have a really good experience, all right? I want you to relax. I want you to think about your favorite cocktail or your favorite fresh fruit or fresh fruit juice or your feet in the sand at the local beach bar. I want you there, and let us tackle all the blah, blah, blah when it comes to real estate, all right? So fear is normal. Stress is normal. But if you don't communicate your stress to us on what is stressing you, it makes it more difficult for us to handle for you. So I just suggest very strongly, whether you're dealing with me or anyone else on my team, just be honest and say, here's my fears, and then we can deal with it. And that's part of life. That's part of life. Okay, so we're now just about back at my office in Sosua, and we're going to pull up to the new Sosua sign, which we're going to show you here on the right. Zoran, who's taking the video right now, he's going to plug into that. I want to show that video. Every town in this country has done this type of sign. I think they're beautiful. But this one for Sosua was unveiled last week, and they did such a beautiful job. It looks so good at night. But everybody gets their photos done there. So if you're going to buy in Sosua Cabarete, you're going to pass by this sign every, almost daily, depending where you're going. But in the interim, in the spirit of time and non-stress, let's focus on what we're all here for in the Dominican Republic. Beautiful weather, warm beaches, warm ocean, hot sand, cold beverages, the feeling of the sun on our skin, fresh fruit, you know, all the normal stuff. And don't think about the other things such as snow, shoveling, shoveling snow, ice on your windshield, none of that. We leave that stress behind. And when we see it now happening in North America, as you will when you live here, it'll make you smile when you see everybody else having to deal with it. Okay, so I'm Patrick Johnston, managing broker, co-owner of Go Dominican Life. You can always text me at 829-525-1782 on WhatsApp. Send me a note there, Monday to Saturday, 6 a.m. to 11 p.m. You know I'm going to respond. Everybody seems to know each other here. And I look forward to serving you with our team nationwide. Let us be your first choice. We're here to serve you, okay? So from Sosua, adios. Life is better at the beach.